Hello, this is Bo Knuth from Retriever Software. This is an update on the Retriever Software Emergency Command and Control application. The screen that we're looking at here is the desktop application that's designed to run on multiple screens, on dual screens. This is one of 4 dispatching screens that are available within the Emergency Command and Control application. This particular one, entitled Dispatch Evacuation Buses, is designed to get the buses from the reception center to their final shelter destination without further processing. The 3 other dispatching screens have to do with picking up special needs evacuees directly from their addresses and getting them to shelters. And the other 2 have to do with inventory control, resupplying shelters and resupplying the warehouses from which resupply vehicles will then go ahead and fill requisitions from shelters. So there are demonstrations available on those particular dispatching screens as well. To launch into this one, so again, the monitor that we're looking at, the screen, the left-hand part of the screen would be displayed on one monitor. The map information on the right hand would be displayed on a separate monitor. That's how this is designed to be operated. We'll go ahead and click on the apply button, and this will show us all of the buses that are currently en route, that have not gotten to their final destination but have left the reception center. And so we'll see that a destination has been entered by one of the guardsmen who has actually embarked the evacuees onto the bus. And they have not supplied a final destination shelter, because we don't really know that at the point where the buses are being embarked with evacuees. So we just have a destination city. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and click on this first row here that has evacuation bus number 1 with 44 passengers on board. And we'll notice that the map on the right hand monitor will display both the position of the evacuation bus, and this is determined by the GPS device within the bus, and also show all the shelters that have available beds within the target city, in this case Dallas. So the same information is displayed here as in the other dispatching applications within the Emergency Command and Control product here. So we'll notice that we see the city and the names of the shelters that are available in that city, and also the distance from the bus to the shelter, and also the number of beds that are available. We can see that either here on the list, or we also see that same information over here on the right hand side on the map itself. When we go ahead and click on one of these shelter locations, the map on the right will go ahead and generate the driving directions along with a route map, which shows the exact turns from the vehicle all the way to the destination shelter. And we can come over here and do a right click on that same shelter line and click on the assign button, and this is at the point where all of the mapping information is now compressed and made available for the Pocket PC device on that evacuation bus number 1 to download. So it takes about a minute or so here for all of the maps to be generated by the Microsoft Map Point technology, and then all this information then will be downloaded to the Pocket PC via the Retriever Software Comm Manager that controls the communications between each one of the devices and the central dispatcher. So now we'll go ahead and show you what the application running on the handheld device looks like. So here on the handheld application, we're going to go ahead and log on with our user ID and password that's assigned. This comes from the central database. And then we'll go ahead and pick a location from our drop-down list. It's the same as with embarking, debarking the buses and the operations that go on at the fuel sites, but this is going to be more vehicle oriented for the driver of the bus. So we're going to go ahead and select evacuation bus number 1, and click OK. And this screen should look familiar to anybody who's seen the demonstrations for the evacuee tracking system, but you'll notice that we've got one new button here, and that's the Maps button. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and we'll see now that we've got driving directions, a route map, and pocket streets available under this map submenu. And what these allow us to do is the same thing that's available for supply truck drivers and long-haul truck drivers who are supplying the warehouses and who are supplying the shelters in the inventory control. So this is the part that will be this is the mapping submenu that will be available to the drivers of the evacuation buses, whether they're going from the reception center to the shelters or whether they're doing pickup of special needs evacuees. Now you can see at this point a download has begun, and this is the Pocket PC device checking in with the central communication server every minute or so to see whether there are any updates or assignments that are available for the Pocket PC. So this would be updates to the lookup tables that have all the locations and vehicle and shelter identifiers that are being dynamically built up as the evacuation process takes place. And it also is in the case here of mapping information and shelter assignment for a particular bus being downloaded. So it takes about 1 minute or so for the mapping information to be downloaded to the Pocket PC. One of the options that are available between the dispatcher and the bus drivers, basically any of the vehicles that are equipped with a Pocket PC with the evacuation tracking application running on it, is the ability to do some voicemails and some push-to-talk type of walkie-talkie communications. So within this packet, if the dispatcher had chosen to, they could have created a short voice message to be included that could be played back here on this Pocket PC device once it got all of its mapping information downloaded to it. And as with any push-to-talk type of system, actually this one's a little bit different in that the dispatcher is not using a phone device to do the push-to-talk to communicate with the vehicles out there on the road. They're actually able to use the PC with its standard microphone and speakers in order to be able to do that telephone type walkie-talkie functionality with all the Pocket PC devices that are running around in the vehicles. Once the download of the mapping information and the shelter assignment is completed, we get a little dialog message that pops up on the screen that tells the driver there's a new assignment. And this is specifically just in case they missed the fact that there was the progress bar there with the download. So once you go ahead and click OK on that dialog, you'll be able to go into the Maps menu and look at the same sort of information that the resupply trucks and the long-haul truckers, all the other people who are using the Retriever Emergency Command and Control application, have available to them. So if we go ahead and click on the Driving Directions button, it'll bring up the file that was generated at the dispatcher. This is the same information that was available on that monitor on the right-hand side for the dispatcher, and it gives you the turn-by-turn directions from the current location to the final destination shelter for this particular evacuation bus. If at any point the driver needs to deviate or takes a wrong turn someplace, they can always hit a button and get these driving directions refreshed. That all happens through the Retriever Software Communications server back to the central dispatcher. By clicking on the Pocket Streets button, the mapping information that was generated by the dispatcher in Microsoft MapPoint that was translated to a Microsoft Pocket Streets map is made available here. You can see we've got one push pin that represents the bus and another push pin that represents the shelter that the bus has been assigned to. And you can use your mouse here. The driver would be able to use his mouse and just drag it across an area of interest so that they can actually look at the specific streets in order to familiarize themselves with how to get from their current location to where they're going. They can use the magnifying glasses, the zoom in, the zoom out at the bottom of the page to again help them navigate from one point to another. And again, if at any point they get lost, they can always go back to the mapping menu and click on a button and have all this mapping and driving direction information sent down to them again, so that they have current information from their current location. This is all based upon there being a GPS device in the vehicle. That could either be an external Bluetooth type of GPS device or something that's serially connected to the Pocket PC that's in the evacuation bus. Feel free to contact Retriever Software if you'd like more information on this evacuation bus dispatching or any of the other emergency command and control features.